we get to Zach Wilson, who, by the way, just the previous year, with 7-6, had completed about 62% of his passes, had like 11 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Nobody was talking about him at all. Now, the next year, 2020 arrives, and the number's 33 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. But, Mina, help me out here, my dear. Help me out here, because I need your help. I need your help, Mina. All right? Navy, Troy, Louisiana Tech, UTSA. I had to look up who UTSA was because I forgot. Houston, Texas State, not Texas, Texas State, Western Kentucky, not Kentucky, Western Kentucky, Boise State, okay, not Alabama, North Alabama, okay, Coastal Carolina. And by the way, they lost that game to Coastal Carolina, okay?
Yeah.
And San Diego State, and of course UCF. Forgive me. All I'm saying about Zach Wilson is I appreciate what the film shows. I appreciate your skill set. I'm happy you're going to clearly be a first-round pick. But number 2 overall, with that cupcake schedule, I mean, I might go to a cupcake shop right here while I'm in L.A. and find tougher cupcakes than the competition that this brother went against in 2020. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
BYU's produced some pretty good quarterbacks.
Can I ask that question?
BYU's produced some pretty good quarterbacks, notably Steve freaking Young, who was only probably my favorite quarterback to watch as a kid, right?
By the
Zach
way, Max,
Wilson,
he was on Stephen A's World. He was on Stephen A's World the other day, raving about Zach Wilson.
Yeah, so where can we find Stephen A's World, by the way?
ESPN Plus, baby. You know where it
ESPN
goes.
Plus,
but the
yes,
point that I'm
got it.
saying, Steve Young was raving about him, and Steve Young knows I understand. But I still asked him the same question.
Well, look, he mentioned Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. Mina, you mentioned Patrick Mahomes, best you've ever seen. Me too. I've seen a lot. Patrick Mahomes, best I've ever seen. The competition, and it's close, is Aaron Rodgers with my own eyeballs, right? Like, and maybe because I'm undervaluing decision making, and that's what Brady does better than anyone. But they make the, oh my God, they didn't just do that kind of plays all the time. All the time, those two guys. Zach Wilson looks at those guys. I'll give you another one, because I think this guy is in. I think after the next name I'm going to mention, there's no one else quite like them. That's Justin Herbert. I didn't see it in college like this, but in the pros, I see Justin Herbert, I go, no, he didn't just do that. Oh, my God, this kid is so good. When my eyes are on Zach Wilson, and I did not watch him a lot when he actually played, Stephen A. like you on YouTube afterwards, better than Justin Fields, are people crazy? And then I watch it, and maybe it's because it's I'm watching a select portion, and so it's his most, but yeah, my eyes are on him, I go, yeah. As a matter of fact, I almost envy the Jets because they get to take him. They're not essentially forced to take Trevor Lawrence. You're forced to take Trevor Lawrence. Checks every box. You have to take him. If I were the Jets, I'd secretly kind of be psyched that I'm picking second and get to take Zach Wilson. That's how much I think of his talent. And even though everything you said is right about the competition, Stephen A., sometimes it's like the Gladwell blink test. You go, whoa, what was that? That's how I feel about Zach Wilson.
You mentioned Justin Fields. Using SPS Plus, which is how we measure defensive strength, Justin Fields played the hardest schedule of any quarterback of like the last 10 years. Zach Wilson, of the FBS quarterbacks, the easiest this season. I, too, think he looks like Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes sometimes when he throws the football. And if he was playing 7-on-7 instead of the NFL, Max, I would say he's bound for a Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers-like career. But he's not. And, in fact, not only is he leaving behind the comfortable confines of BYU, where when I went back and watched those games, Houston, Coastal, Stephen A's right, is probably the best team they played, an offensive team, and they lost. I don't just marvel at Zach Wilson. I marvel at the BYU offensive line because those grown men were building a wall in front of him. Do you know what doesn't exist in New York? A wall. Not even like half a wall. They got Mekhi Becton, and that's about it on that offensive line. So while I see the traits, and I absolutely think there is a chance they translate to the NFL at some point, Zach Wilson is in for a rude awakening because of the team he's going to, which was in that place to draft him for a reason, and how bad that offensive line is. Like, name an offensive lineman other than Becton on the Jets that you feel good about. It's really hard. You probably can't. Zach Wilson's got to be looking at that. He got to be worried.
I'm going to say it again. Mina, I've been trying to do better. I lost some pounds. I've been cutting down on the sugar. It's a struggle. It's a struggle, but I've been trying to hang tough, Mina. And one of my favorite things to chew on is these granola minis, okay? And I got one in my hand. I'm getting ready to chew on right now because they're healthy and they taste great.
They don't have sugar?
But a little bit, Max, just a little bit, but not as much, right? My point is they're rough. They're rough. This is rougher than the competition that Zach Wilson went against last season. You understand what I'm saying? This is rougher. These mini granolas are rougher than the competition Zach Wilson went against. And maybe it's because of that offensive line that you talked about, Mina. But the bottom line is, it ain't that tough. It wasn't that tough for him.
But you know who the defensive coaches are in the AFC East? Bill Belichick, Brian Flores, Sean McDermott. They are salivating, and that granola little piece, it's not only rough, it's tiny. Zach Wilson's tiny, y'all. Like, we don't talk about that much, but he is slight.
He's slight, but Mina, he's 6'3". He's 6'3" and he's young. He'll put on some weight.
I'm telling you, when you watch the games, I do not buy for a second that
I think your points are very good about the competition. The points about the competition are good, and Mina, your points about watching the offensive line at BYU, which I wasn't, is a good one if they're building walls, and that's not going to be the case with the Jets.
But
we're talking about this upcoming season. You know what happens then if the Jets are bad again? Then they get a very high draft pick, and guess what they'll do with it? They'll draft a really good offensive lineman, and they'll free up some cap space, and they'll sign a really good offensive lineman.
You should know better as a boxing
We're not
analyst.
talking about this upcoming season. We're talking about Zach Wilson for his career. My prediction is he's going to be really good.
And you, like you said, Max, covering boxing, there's a whole bunch of people that look pretty, shadow boxing and everything else, until they get hit. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.